Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap and review, I'm having a soda, and tonight I'll be discussing Heavenly Tyrant by Zhao. This is a book I got through my library through the Libby app. Of course, I'm always giving my honest opinion. These are the tropes, and these are the content warnings. My rating for this book is 5 stars. I absolutely adored it, so what's it about? So this book is about Zhao, who is now in control of her government after she took down the sages that were plotting to unalive her due to her becoming a liability. But that, combined with the recent revelations of her gods fresh on her mind, well, she's shaken to say the least. So for now, she has decided to share power with Zhao, a legend of an emperor in her time, but is back now to right the country that he sees is worse off from when he left it. So together they will deconstruct the system that is built on corruption, misogyny, and the exploitation of some for the gain of others. But as they work to change the system, there will be those who will target them in order to maintain it. But as they worry about those targets, they can't forget about the gods who have their own plans and ideas for them and their country. And if they step out of line, they or those that they care about will pay the price for it. So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book. Book 1 was all about feminine rage and fighting against the systems that oppress you. Book 2 is now that you've taken down that government who is oppressing you, you now need to lead that government. If you need a comparison, instead of like Katniss and Hunger Games at the end of the book being in this field trying to live out her peace, imagine instead if she was put in charge of the government. Well, that's this book. So you have Zhao, who is now admittedly a poor girl who doesn't have much in the way of education, who's been oppressed her whole life by a system and people who claim to love her in charge of this government, when all she was really trying to do was just survive in that system and yes, take it down, but also make sure those that she cares about survive as well, which admittedly they didn't, even by her own hand. Well, now she needs to focus all of her energy on trying to better herself while also having this man who is a legend of an emperor in her time, who has his own ideas of how to lead this country and is so strong in personality and ideals of how to lead this revolution that she is once again under another man's thumb, having to prove her worth to him, that she has value so that she can stick around while also still plotting on how to take down another man in another system and trying to change her country. Now, something else I really enjoyed about this book that I know some people aren't enjoying quite as much as the shift in this book was that it focused very much on political intrigue and machinations, and I personally adored it. I love the betrayal, the backstabbing, the plotting, and the making you question of what's the right way to lead a revolution. For some, they said in this book they want to see small changes over time to allow people to adjust, so it's like a bloodless revolution. But as another book I've read recently pointed out, is like, how slow do you go? How slow these changes do you make? Because for some, eventually you're just standing still and not making any real changes, because any change is too much change for some people, especially as they want to maintain these systems. And then there are those who want to just burn it all to the ground and rapid fire change everything to fit their ideals. And as they do that even if you agree with what they're wanting as the end goal, their methods about going it, you're like, ooh, that's not good. You're kind of being an oppressive dictator there. But it just, again, it makes you question everything about the proper way to lead a revolution. This book felt very appropriate for the time and day we're in right now. And then this book also makes you try to focus on who your true oppressors are, because this system is bent or meant to trick people into not realizing that they are working for the top to benefit the top. But there's people behind the scenes that are the true oppressors. So can you truly change an oppressive system within an oppressive system when you're not targeting the right people? So this was just a book that was dripping in political intrigue and machinations, like I said, and I just adored it. It is currently available and I would recommend it. And I thought this was a duology. It turns out this book ends on a cliffhanger and I cannot wait for the next one. This was just a great book all around and I cannot recommend it more. So I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.